Toto, Kingdom of Desire, 11 tracks, 64 minutes, 8th studio album of the American rock band, released September 1992 in Europe and May 1993 in the US by Relativity Records. Produced by the band and Danny Korchmar. Mixed by Bob Clearmountain, recorded at over 10 different studios, thank you very much. 4 singles were released in Don't Chain My Heart, Only You, Two Hearts and The Other Side. Steve Lukather handled lead vocals on this album, and drummer Jeff Porcaro died shortly after the completion of this, which almost led to the band breaking up afterward. Nick selected this one. He's not here to defend it, so he's going to go through a normal process. Brendan, kick it off.
Don't think you'll need to defend too much, I wouldn't imagine. But look, this is their 8th album, did you say?
Yeah.
See, outside their first 4 albums, I didn't even know Toto was still a thing. You know, I thought it sort of died after album 4, but there you go. It obviously kept going.
It's still going.
Still going, yeah.
Yeah, touring soon, I think.
Yeah, and singer number 78 or something. Yeah. This album rocks, but somewhat surprisingly, it rocks pretty damn hard at points. It like, really, really goes. I really like Steve Lukather's voice. He's got a bit of edgy gravel to
just
it.
Good rock voice.
Yeah, just a really, really good rock singer. And obviously he's an outstanding guitar player, which won't come as a surprise to anyone. If you've ever heard a song, it was him playing on it. Any song, doesn't matter, pick one.
Porcaro as well.
This whole album just starts like a million miles away from what I associate with Toto. You know, I'm just waiting for Africa and
It's nothing like that.
It's nothing like that. So don't go in with any preconceived ideas. Have a listen. It does get a bit softer, and a bit of a dad rock vibe does kick in towards the middle of the album, which, to be honest, I was really sort of disappointed because I was really enjoying it at the start. I was getting somewhere across between sort of Jeff Healey and Joe Satriani.
Actually, yeah, I would pay that.
Yeah, which was a really sort of interesting sound, and I like both those guys, so I was quite happy here. Really clean production. I thought it sounds incredible. And 10 studios.
Across 10 studios,
How
the fuck they managed that?
Anyway, don't write this off, or do so at your own peril. Give it a listen. This is a really solid rock album. Lots of funk, lots of groove. Might get a little ballad heavy at a couple of points there, but you know that's me whinging. No, I loved it. Gave it 8 out of 10. Highlights with Gypsy Train, She Knows the Devil, Jake to the Bone, and Kingdom of Desire.
So first things first, I was disappointed there was not a song called Kansas. I was also somewhat disappointed it was not paired with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and also the band Dorothy.
Severely disappointed.
Now that is out of the way,
Fantastic.
I have heard 2 songs from Toto in my life.
Oh, wow.
Prior to listening to this, and I have to say, I was expecting Africa times 12.
Yeah.
I didn't get that, and I don't know whether to be happy or disappointed.
You're conflicted?
Yeah, I'm really conflicted. It got kind of a very bluesy, kind of rocky kind of vibe to it.
I like what Europe did after the Countdown era.
The thing with Toto is as well, what I do know about these guys, these are all like session musicians that have come together and formed a band. So, not a surprise, this thing sounds minked. Jeff Porcaro is a god. His shuffles are flawless, second to maybe Bonham and Purdy. But yeah, that's for mine. He's the highlight of the album. But anyway, I'm a little bit biased by that. But yeah, anyway, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I thought this was actually really good. I enjoyed this a lot more than I was expecting to. This is a great album.
This was a surprise. Nothing like Africa or Hold the Line, and they're the 2 Toto songs I've heard. That's all I know from this band. That's it. That's all I know.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't heard a single full album. I've only heard those 2 songs, Africa and Hold the Line.
I'm not a connoisseur, but listen to a few over the years.
Not Georgie Porgy.
No. So I'm sure this is really different to everything else they've done. I don't know if in the 8 or so albums leading up to this, how they developed into this, but it'd be worth checking out. It's a good listen, nice diversity between the songs, there's good hooks and some swing at places. At times it reminded me a bit of the Gilmour-led Pink Floyd era from the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, people have said that on this one.
Yeah, really good album. 7 out of 10, Gypsy Train and Don't Chain My Heart.
Yeah, for me, the way it kicks off with Gypsy Train, that's actually heavy.
Yeah.
I was like, what? What?
Not Toto.
I double checked I was on the right album.
We were in New York City. Like, what the fuck is going on? I was not expecting that to happen. Again, like Dave, I've only really know the band out of 2 songs. And obviously, that's way back when. So this took me by a good surprise. I was like, wow, this is great. I'd seen Steve Lukather play in the G3 that he did. So I knew the guy could play and stuff like that. I didn't actually know he was the vocalist until I looked into it.
Pretty good too.
Yeah, well, I'm probably sure it is. Yeah. If you like bands like Jaded Heart meets Lynch Mob and maybe a bit of Hardline, is what I got out of those types of early '90s superstar type bands. Like really, really good playing. Lots of variety and colour on this album. I thought it was really good. Production was fantastic. The playing was fantastic. Geez, whoever's on bass, fuck man, fantastic. And the drumming, like we've already touched on, was great. All round, it was just a fantastic album. I was really surprised.
Yeah.
I've put it on my list to buy.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
I do agree with Brendan where it does tail off towards the end with probably a little too many ballads. Or
probably could have dropped 2 songs. I think I would have enjoyed the album more.
Or maybe threw another rock one in at the end.
Yeah.
So you got that 2 for 1, like 2 ballads, maybe a rocky. Or just like, it was almost like 3 or 4 in a row. It sort of did drop the album off a little bit, but I gave it an 8 out of 10. Gypsy Train, Never Enough. She Knows the Devil.
Cool. Well, as has been clearly stated, if you're looking for another, Africa or anything like that, it's not here. So don't look for it. This is more 80s inspired hard rock. If you know anything about the band and its members, you know how proficient they are at what they do. There's no need to talk about their fucking performance ability. They can play. Like, they can play better than most out there. Very good bunch of musicians that actually work together to collaborate cohesively and write some good songs. That's the cool part about this. The ego is gone on this. I think Steve Lukather deserves a lot more credit than he gets as a vocalist.
Yeah, I agree.
He's well known for his guitar work, but vocally he's good. I've never heard him do a dud song as a vocalist. I've listened to a fair bit of his work. This just flows on from previous works from the band. Very melodic rock to hard rock, nice harmonies, great space and melody. Guitar driven and vocal driven, but the bass, drums and synth work to point those things out, which is really cool. If you like 80s rock that progresses with the times, this is for you. There's some solid hooks in this as well. Nothing quite like what you've, Africa and Hold the Line and stuff. They're not on this, but there are some good hooks in here. I thought the lyrics were all crafted, predominantly about issues at the heart, which is standard fare for the AOR kind of style. But they do it very, very well. Of course, you get the ballads, and while they're more typical, you still can't fault the actual craft. They write fucking great songs. Production is fantastic. Expect no less. It's just style of music damn well. I love how well it's balanced. You can hear absolutely everything with crystal clarity. I love the entire frequency range that's represented on this. Great layering, reverb, the panning. It's all very clean, polished, and presented very well. It's all about tone. And some of the tones they pulled on this record are fucking amazing. Yep. They nailed it for the genre for sure. You can see why tone was the focus in the production because it's so good. Like, I'd love to know what they were playing through and what mics they used and how they got it from the room, and it just sounds fantastic.
Was one of the studios the same as Darkthrone?
I don't think so. It'd be interesting to find out.
They turned the desk on. Darkthrone tried to get whatever they could through the glass.
This is the difference between the preamp being on and the preamp being off. That's the difference we're talking about here. But I love the balance in this mix. It's very well done. The album craft's pretty good for the most part. I do agree with what's being said about the tail end or the mid part of it as well. It's got good pick drops overall. They tend to have a lot of albums in this genre have a tendency to plod for mine. They just tend to get a bit one-dimensional pace-wise, and this album does suffer from that a bit. It's all written well, beautifully performed. It's arty. It's wonderful stuff, but they just fall into a rhythm with the tempo, and that kind of makes it just sort of sway your way through the album kind of thing, as opposed to really being locked in on it. The fact that it goes for over an hour doesn't help that along either. It drags it out. Putting 2 tracks at the end that go for over 7 minutes apiece was a mistake. They could put one in the middle, maybe one at the end, or put them into 2/3 marks and broken it up that way. But for all that, closing with the instrumental was a nice touch. I liked that. If you want nice melodic rock with a bit of everything, but don't mind some emotion to go with that. This isn't like your party album. This is just more matters of the heart kind of stuff. It's one to check out. Won't be forever, but I think the talent across the board is more than enough to at least get people to have a listen to it, and maybe they'll find something they like it if they're not familiar with it. It just could have been made a little bit leaner. If it was made a little bit leaner, trimmed a little bit, this would have been knocked out of the park for mine. I gave it an 8 out of 10. Never Enough, She Knows, The Devil, Don't Chain My Heart, and Jake to the Bone. Check it out for yourselves. Let us know what you think.
Nick, you fucked up. We all liked it.
Michael Sweets. This is your one, Nick.
It was.
Oh, I was touched.
Who wants
I
to
didn't
go
write
first?
notes because I know what I'm going to say
Yeah.
about
We'll
it.
be back to our regular show, Touched by an Uncle shortly.
While the church burns down in the background.
Touchy.
Are you having flashbacks over there?
My head's